Well, hello there. This is all that's left of my pizza oven. I bought the pizza oven for $2,000. Was huge, massive, but it didn't work. It just burned through wood like crazy. You could fit like 8 pizzas in it. It was just insane. It got so, in order to cook the pizzas, it had to get so hot that the entire shell cracked. So, bashed it down, got it rebuilt. Still a disaster. What to do? What to do? But what's this? This is a pizza oven. There's a pizza oven that I've just finished making. That is the prototype. I decided in my wisdom that I would make my own pizza oven. Not only would I make my own pizza oven, but I would make it in such a way that I could make a mold of it, so that I could make many to sell and to give to my mates. And this is the result. This is the prototype, which I will be firing up in 2 days' time to see what happens. The cost of it is about $500. So compared to $2,000, I think it's pretty good. Should be able to sell them pretty easily. And so join me on this adventure of making this prototype, making the mold of it, and seeing whether all that hard work actually pays off when I make my first pizza in a couple of days. Having now decided that I'm going to make my own pizza oven, and I also want to make it in a way that I can make others for my mates or even to sell. Now I have to put that into some sort of reality. So the crazy idea is to make a traditionally wood-fired pizza oven, but it's got to be made so that it can be made in a mold, so that I can make duplicates of it. It has to be light enough so that it can be carried and transported. And also, if it's light enough, it means that you would be able to lift it off the base that it's put on, so that you can clean the base if you need to. First question I have to ask is, what do we make this pizza oven from? Traditionally, pizza ovens are made from fire bricks, mortar and cement, normal standard bricks, and then plaster, and then they have tiling over them. Um, so using normal traditional materials is not going to achieve our objective, because it will be it will be so heavy, it will be a permanent immovable structure, and you'd have to build it on site, which means wouldn't be able to sell them, wouldn't be able to make for my mates. So that's definitely not going to work. What are the options? Well, because it has to be made in mold, it has to be light enough to be able to carry. What about concrete? Concrete won't work because it will be too heavy. It won't have the thermal properties and is most likely going to crack. What about GFRC, glass fiber reinforced concrete? This will be lighter than concrete and less prone to crack because of the glass fiber reinforcing that it has, but it's still going to be way too heavy and won't have the correct thermal properties. Okay, but let's expand the GFRC idea more. And let's, instead of using silica sand, let's replace that with expanded perlite. Expanded perlite is an insulation material that's fireproof and has a very good thermal insulation characteristics. and it's extremely light. I mean, 1 kilogram of perlite is going to replace 10 kilograms of silica sand. So it's basically going to almost half the weight of a traditional GFRC created item. Would that work though, using GFRC made out of perlite? And the answer is, I believe, is that it will work because I have made um, molds using GFRC and perlite before to make these container pot plants and other pots for my blueberries. Um, they turn out very well and have seemed to have lasted quite a lasted well. And so I think it's going to work if we do that. Okay, then on to the recipe to make this GFRC. Um, the most successful recipe that I've used in the past has been this. So now I need to convert this into a recipe for that includes perlite. So this is the mix that I'm going to use, where I have replaced the silica sand with a product called Pratley Pearl, which is expanded perlite. Um, if you can't get Pratley Pearl in your country, just shop around for expanded perlite. It would be the same. And you can see there I've slightly upped the amount of glass fiber. But other than that, the GFRC mix recipe is the same. Just a note here, this mix and the amounts that I have in this mix, it's per batch, and the kind of reason for it is that this is quite easy to mix up at one time. So you just make a number of these batches depending on how much you require. And I'm guessing right now that we're going to require between 5 to 6 batches of this to make the pizza oven shell. Um, Also, another note is I purchased my materials from a company called AMT Composites. They are a company that has a wide variety of different products related to composites. And they seem to be somehow linked to Smooth On in the USA because their training videos go through to some Smooth On training videos. So I'm just assuming that they are somehow connected. So if you are in the USA, I would say, and you don't know what I'm talking about when you see these things like what's this resin, you can go on to Smooth On's website and just look at the GFRC section, and you will find out more about what the resin is and what the plasticizer is, and then you can order from them as well. Another note is I'm not sponsored by any of these companies. They just are the ones that I discovered and use. Okay, before we dive in and just go right ahead and start making this pizza oven, let's just consider the financial viability of doing this. Now, in that spreadsheet, you will see the all of the materials that I've used and the labor costs, etc., for the oven and as well as the base. And it comes out to a cost of $599. So I think that is a good cost for a making of the pizza oven. If we compare that cost to market competitors that I can find on the internet, comparing a similar products that I have in mind, um, those products go for anywhere between $2,500 to $6,000 and upwards. So it definitely looks like this is a viable option. If we make it for $600 and we sell it for $1,500, that's a good business model. So yes, so I think the financial viability is there. So let's continue. Okay, well let's get this adventure on the go. Please join me in the subsequent videos where I will be making the pizza oven and making a mold of it and seeing whether it actually works. So let's get the adventure started. Hello there. This is all that's left of my pizza oven. I bought a massive big pizza oven for $2,000. This is all that's left of it. It was a disaster. It was so big that it just chewed through wood. We could put like 8 pizzas in it. It was just crazy.